All right, guys. So I wanted to do this video because I just put out a whole bunch of information about how to kind of create email funnels in Wix, and I didn't give you any visuals. So I wanted to give you the visuals behind the information that I just shared with you guys on my Instagram story. So for those of you who do not know me, I'm Brittany Janine, and I build banging brands from the ground up. I'm super passionate about just giving creative solutions to their business. You know, I really just want you guys to be out there doing your best and really using what you have access to until it no longer works for you, right? So I want to talk to you about collecting, email information from folks who are interacting with you online, whether they're buying a product, signing up for a newsletter, downloading a freebie, whatever the case may be, and then how you can continue to communicate with them on a consistent basis, right? So there are two ways to sort of collect information on Wix. There's the general way where you use their Get Subscribers form, where they'll just put in their name, their email address, subscribe, and sort of go into this general bucket of anybody who's interested in anything Brittany Janine and Co. sign up for this list, right? So anything generic would go to this group, right? Now, there's also a way to build specific forms. So whether you want to speak to a specific group. So like in my case, I might want to speak specifically to designers or specifically to photographers or specifically to creatives in general, right? And so you can use Wix form to create a box or a form for people to actually give you like their name, their email address, and whatever information that you want to collect. So in this case, there is a designer workshop coming up, and I'm assuming that anyone who's on this page most likely is either interested in becoming a designer or is already a designer, right? So I created this form, all things design, keep up with all things design, drop your info below. So they would put their name, their email address, and then I created this drop down where it's like, are you a designer? I am already a designer, or I'm interested in becoming a designer. And then they would submit, right? And then on the back end, this submission would then go into a list that I categorize like, okay, whoever fills out this form, put them into this category, okay? Whoever fills out this form, make sure that they get this communication, right? So on the back end of Wix, I want to show you what that looks like, both for the general form that we talked about and the more specific form. So I'm going to go into the editor. So this is the back end of my website here, right? And so for this general form that I showed you guys, all you would have to do is go to add and then go to contact. And then this form here, join our mailing list, you would grab it and you would literally drop it wherever you want it to go. You know, you could customize the color, the text, the size of the text, the button color, anything like that, right? So that's the general form for collecting general information like email. You were just interested in Brittany Janine Co. You're going to get my general newsletter content, right? Now, if you want to do something more specific, I'm going to go to my designer workshop page, right? And so here's my designer workshop page. Obviously, the folks who are going to fill out their information on this page are designers, right? And so I created this form down here. So to do that, I went to add apps. Then up here, I typed in Wix form, and then I hit add to site. Now, when this add to site is clicked, right, Wix is going to give you options. So do you want to add a form that just collects contacts, is basic info, sales lead, support? I use sales lead, all right? So I would click that and then I would hit choose. But I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want it to add to my site again. We're just going to pretend like I clicked it and clicked it here. And then it went on the website, right? So once it comes onto the site, right, it's going to have fields. So you can delete the fields literally like by clicking it and just hitting delete on your keyboard and kind of, moving the fields where you want them to be, sizing them, how big you want them. It's really, really simplistic, right? And intuitive. So you'd find the fields that you want, right? So literally you could click this, manage fields, and then you would say, add field, right? And then there's different fields that you could add. So you could add like, name, last name, email, drop down, whatever field you want, right? And then of course for each field you click it and then you can hit edit field to make sure that it has the name that you want and that you want it to be marked required, okay? And then of course each field you would go through, edit the fields, make sure it has the name required. And then here as the drop down, I manage items, and then you can add in a list of what the drop downs would be for that person, right? And then the cool thing too is if you click it and you hit settings, the form settings, you could say, okay, what message should they get after they submit it? And then here on the submissions is the part that I like, is, okay, I named it designer's form. Here's where the email notifications are going to go. Now in Wix, on the contact side, on the back end, you have a bunch of lists, right? And I wanted to say, anytime someone fills out this form, I want them to go into my designer bucket, okay? So keep that information for a second. So now that you've figured that out, that's the Wix form way. Now I'm going to show you the email side of things, okay? I'm going to go to my dashboard, and in your dashboard, you'll see where it says contacts in CRM. You would click that, and then you would come here to automations, all right? Now that you're here in automations, it's all about creating an email to a specific group, okay, based on an action, right? So you would go choose a trigger. Triggers are actions visitors do on your site, like sign up, purchase, and more, right? So I would say, okay, every time somebody submits a Wix form, or every time somebody signs up for my mailing list, or every time somebody signs up on my site, right? I want you, Wix, to do this, right? So for the specific purpose of just general contacts, like I don't know who you are, I'm just going to send you an email. I'm going to say every time somebody fills out my mailing list, I want Wix to send them an email. You can also have them notify you by email or send a chat message, because you can chat live with your visitors on Wix too. But send an email, and then you would edit the template. You know, thank you so much for subscribing. I can't wait to continue to connect with you. Even, you know, thank you for contacting me. Here's my latest blog on such and such, right? And then scroll down, you can choose a time. So as soon as they subscribe, this email is sent immediately, or it's sent in 7 days or 30 days. And then you could add a custom time up to 999 days. So you can create these automations to go once a month if you wanted to, right? For the people who did this specific action. Now, for those who are, you know, who you're wanting to receive more specific communication, like for me, it would be those designers, right? I would come here and I would say, every time a visitor submits a Wix form, right? And which Wix form? My sales lead form, right? My designer's form. I want you, Wix, to send an email to the visitors, right? And I want it to be this email, okay? It could be, like I said, it could be a freebie that I'm sending them. It could be whatever, right? And then send that immediately. And then I would activate. Then I would come in here and I would create another trigger or another automation. And I would say, now again, Wix, anybody who submits this on this form, I want you to send an email. And instead of it maybe being immediately, I'm going to say in 7 days, and I'm going to build another one in 30 days, and however long I want to speak to that specific audience, right? And that allows you to always be in communication with those who have interacted with you, all right? So I want you guys to know that there is an email funnel feature in Wix for you to use right now if you already have access to Wix, all right? And if you're already paying for it, go ahead and try it out and see if it works for you. And if not, go ahead and use, you know, those others like Drip and ConvertKit and MailChimp or whatever else you find to be a benefit to you and your business. So I always want to do videos like this just to help you guys. I'm here to serve. That's my purpose for being here. And I want you guys to be doing it like in the bombest way you can. So let me know if you have questions. Email me at Brittany@BrittanyJanine.com.